Hey everyone, it's Fun Around, and my name is Jordan. I had a very nice streak going pretty much since the All Star break had ended and started back up, but Wednesday was pretty humbling. This video will be for Thursday's slate of games. We have just 5 games. I put a lot of time into that breakdown yesterday and just spent hours just staring at lines. So here, I'm going to do the full breakdown again. I'm just going to point out plays that I see that I like. And talk about some opportunities for lines that are not out yet. But I'm going to go ahead and jump into it. You'll see images that come up on the screen right here. That's from a data app called Outlier. There will be a link in the description for a 7-day free trial for Outlier. So the first game is the Warriors at the Magic. Warriors are 5.5-point favorites. So one of their big men, Jackson Davis, is questionable and Kuminga is out. And for the Magic, Cole Anthony is expected to return. They thought his injury might have been pretty bad, but he looks like he might not miss any time. And then Jalen Suggs and Mo Wagner remain out. The Warriors, since the break, have 3 blowout wins. And then the Magic, they've beaten the bad teams and they've lost to the good teams. So they're 2-2 out of the break. Still trying to kind of figure out their offense and their identity. You know, they had a lot of potential, last year. They just haven't been able to really figure things out. But this matchup's an interesting one. So both teams are giving up the 6 least points or lower over the past couple weeks. So 2 really great defensive teams. The Warriors, they start Draymond Green at the center position. He is 6'6". And then I checked the Magic lineup. Just their potentially starting point guard, if Cole Anthony does not play, Anthony Black, is 6'7". But they have Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, Wendell Carter Jr., Jonathan Isaac, and Goga Bitadze, who are all 6'10". So they're very tall across the board pretty much. So this could be an interesting matchup. The Warriors would need the game plan that the Cavaliers had and pretty much just knock down a bunch of threes. But they worked inside out, and the Cavs have the bigs to do that. The Warriors don't necessarily have that. They just need to be hot. So this could kind of be a trap game for the Warriors. I know I said that for the Cavaliers, but the Cavaliers just kept rolling. The Warriors are going to Orlando. They could struggle here, and they've been really struggling with giving up rebounds. So with all that size, they're giving up the 7th most rebounds to the center position. So there's Wendell Carter Jr. But also, you could look at Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, and those guys for rebounds, just forcing a lot of missed shots here with their height. But this isn't necessarily one that I would want to try to find some props for unless I found a pretty decent rebound type line. I feel like a lot of guys could go under. This could just be a really tough game. But this next game is more exciting. The Nuggets at the Bucks. The Nuggets are 2.5-point favorites. Nuggets, Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray are probable, and for the Bucks, Giannis is probable, but he's been on a minutes restriction around 32 minutes. Usually, if you go to Twitter and go to Underdog NBA, they will announce the minutes restriction shortly before game time, and they could say it's lifted. They could say it's remaining around 32 minutes. But the Nuggets, since the break, they beat the Hornets. Then they got blown out by the Lakers, and then they beat the Pacers. The Bucks have 3 wins, and then a close loss versus Houston, which is pretty respectable. So both these teams want to play fast. The Bucks have upped their pace, and the Nuggets had played at a fast pace all season long. The Nuggets defensively just haven't been that great. So if we get an unleashed Giannis, I would love his points line or potentially assist line. The Nuggets, they give up the 3rd most assist in the NBA right now, but they've been in the top 3 all season long when you look at the past month. So Dame's assist is pretty high. Giannis could be one to look at if his minutes restriction is lifted. I think it's pretty high where it's at with a minutes restriction. And on the other side of things, the Bucks are giving up the 4th most rebounds to teams. So Guys that I would like there are Jokic or Michael Porter Jr. and Christian Brown. I think they all have been rebounding extremely well. Michael Porter Jr. rebounds assist was a go-to for a while. That's starting to look like a play again. And then Christian Brown rebounds alone is looking pretty solid. And the Bucks have struggled against the center position, giving up points. But Jokic's volume just hasn't really been there for the past 2 games. I'm not sure what's going on, but I would not go with his points until we see that volume come back. But I don't think rebounds and assists is out of play, and especially triple double is in play, but it's at minus 125 now. It's not a plus 100 play anymore. It's crazy that your triple double is minus 125. But that is definitely in play here in this matchup. Fast pace, giving up a lot of rebounds, and he is passing the ball a lot more and not shooting as much. So sneaky assist play could be Kyle Kuzma. I believe it was at 2.5 assists. And he has been doing pretty well with the Bucks passing the ball, being a team player. So that is kind of a sneaky one to look at if you like it. So if you guys could, please like the video. And if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. If you have a little bit of extra time, could you just leave a comment for the algorithm. You just put the number 1. That helps get the video out there for more people to see. And also, if you use Prizepicks and you want to get away from it, or if you just want to have other apps to compare, payouts and stuff like that, or have dynamic payouts, check out Underdog Fantasy, Sleeper, ParlayPlay, ChalkBoard, or Better. Underdog is matching your first deposit up to $1,000, the rest up to $100, and Better is matching up to $250 for your first bet. So promo code is fine around 11 for those. This next game's another one that could be interesting is the Hornets at the Mavericks. The Hornets are plus 10.5 underdogs. Whenever they have a LaMelo Ball, Bridges, and Mark Williams, they can be pretty competitive. And 10.5 points, that's a lot to give to them. They beat the Lakers whenever they were healthy. So they are going to be healthy here. The Hornets, they do have a lot of injuries, but nothing significant. And then the Mavericks, PJ Washington is questionable. I think that's a big piece. If he's out, then definitely would lean towards the Hornets. But if he plays, the Mavericks are still just kind of decimated down low. Hornets are 1-4 out of the break. The one win was versus the Lakers. The Mavericks are 1-2, so they haven't been great either. So a guy to look out for would be Miles Bridges points. He's usually been pretty consistent this year, whether LaMelo's been playing or not. Or you can take a look at his rebounds. That's usually a good play. Both teams are in the top 8 for giving up the most rebounds. So Mark Williams, definitely a great play. While I was writing everything down and about to film, I checked, and they did drop lines for Mark Williams. They didn't put just like rebounds alone. They had just like the points rebounds combo. So I'll put that up on the screen. They dropped him at 22.5 for points plus rebounds. He did have 12 and 12 the last game that he played in a blowout versus the Warriors. And the Warriors, obviously, they're struggling with having big men down low, and he was able to get 12 and 12 in a blowout where he had to sit. And earlier this year, he had 13 and 13 versus the Mavericks. So he really may not be a bad look. And even on Underdog right now, if you look at his double-double, it's plus 100. So you can get a boost there if you go with his double-double, which is pretty close to the 22.5. I really like Mark Williams here in this matchup. And then for rebounding, if PJ Washington plays, he would be the go-to guy for rebounds. And then I looked at that Lakers game to see who else stepped up. PJ Washington did really well. He's the top rebounder. But Kyrie and Clay also rebounded really well with 7 and 8. So you can take a look at where those come out at. Like I said, rebound lines alone did not come out when I was looking at these. Next game is another one that could be great for lines, for props, for all that stuff. It's the Pelicans at the Suns. So Pelicans have been giving up pretty much the most points all season long. Pelicans, they will be without Kelly Olynyk and Bruce Brown. And then the Suns have no significant injuries. Pelicans are 2-1 coming out of the break, and they have gone under in all of their points totals, which are usually pretty high. And then the Suns are 1-3 out of the break. So Suns, they're playing all their guys. They got Bradley Beal back in the starting lineup. And they're trying. This should be an opportunity for them. They are 7.5-point favorites, but the Pelicans, they have some guys that can score. C.J. McCollum, Trey Murphy, Zion Williamson. Clearly, so 7.5 points. Yeah, I kind of, this could be a nice underdog day. So over the past 2 weeks, the Pelicans are giving up the most points. The Suns are giving up the fourth most points. There are lines out for this, and a solid look that I found was CJ McCollum over rebounds plus assists is at 7.5. You can see it on the screen. He's gone over in 3 straight since the break, and he's gone over in the last 4 against the Suns. The Suns are giving up the 4th most rebounds and the 4th most assists to the point guard position, where CJ McCollum is slotted at right now. And then on the other side of things, a guy who has been consistent and just come out of nowhere is Bradley Beal. I like his PRA. You see, he's just crushed it at 27.5. He's gone over in 6 straight, and earlier this year he had 24 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists versus the Pelicans. Pelicans just continue to be bad defensively. They are giving up the 6th most points and the 3rd most assists to the shooting guard positions. You take a look at the Props Madness heat map here. You'll see they are bottom 10 in his 2 best zones for scoring in the restricted area and beyond the break at the 3-point line. So a couple props to take a look at that I found that I liked. And then this last one is the Timberwolves at the Lakers. Lakers are 5.5-point favorites. For the Timberwolves, Rudy Gobert remains out, as well as Julius Randle. Anthony Edwards is questionable, so that's going to be an interesting one. Hopefully he does play. And for the Lakers, LeBron is listed as likely to play. I know a lot of people are going to be on Naz Reid for points plus rebounds. He has played great with Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle out. He's gone over his line in every single game that he has played, and he has played the Thunder 3 times and the Houston Rockets 1 time with those guys out, and he's gone over in all those tough matchups. I would just say be careful. I know this seems like a great matchup, but I checked over the past couple of weeks, the Lakers are giving up the least points and the least rebounds to the center positions. But since the break, the Timberwolves are 1-2 and the Lakers are 3-1, and they're starting to kind of catch a groove and really beat teams pretty badly. So props to look out for. The Timberwolves, they struggle against point guard position with points. Luka's points pretty high, and they struggle with giving up rebounds, and his rebounds is also pretty high. So maybe you could do like a parlay where you kind of bump his rebounds down a little bit. And mix it in with some other guys that you like. But with the way the Lakers are playing, I would definitely lean towards the spread for the Lakers at 5.5. It could definitely be a close game. The Timberwolves did play great against the Thunder, but the Lakers just have a lot of firepower right now. So that's my look for those 5 games. If you want to discuss lines further, I have a Discord. Link is in the description. You can hop on in there. Conversation will be going on all day long. Then as far as a recap goes for the last video, like I said, I spent hours and hours and hours just looking at lines and doing the breakdown. And I found 5 plays I put in the video that I felt really good about. And we'll just go through them. It started out with Denny Avdia over 3.5 assists. He got 1 in the first quarter, and then he got injured. He came back. He got injured again. So that one missed. And then I had Cam Johnson against the Thunder. He had for under 3.5 3-pointers made. He had not gone over that line in 10 straight games. He had gone under in like 80% of games this year, going up against the Thunder, who are one of the toughest defenses. And he knocks down 2 threes, to start the game, makes the 3rd one right at the end of the half, and then makes one right at the end of the game to go over. And it just makes me, just not want to ever take an under again. And this gets worse. Dyson Daniels over 5.5 rebounds. I said I had taken his rebounds assists at 9.5 the previous game versus Miami, which was the same matchup. It came out at 10.5, and I did not like it that night. It actually got bumped down during the day, and I would have gone with the 9.5 if I had seen it. But I had already made the video with 5.5. He got really close there at the end, but he did not get it. He hooked. So this gets worse. James Harden over 8.5 assists in one of the best assist matchups versus the Bulls. He ended up with 6. A lot of other guys were getting assists, like Kawhi Leonard was a guy I was looking at, and Zubac was a guy I was looking at. But I was like, no, let's just go with the guy who's like the guy that gets assist, and it wasn't him, it was them. So that one was awful. And then I had Jordan Clarkson over 2.5 3-pointers made. He had just been crushing it as of late. I think it was like the last 9 games he had gone over. He had gone over in every single game with Colin Sexton out. They had a bunch of other guys out. He had all the free reign in the world to take threes. And I think he made a shot at the end of the game, but it was a 2. I don't remember the total, but I knew he was like 0 for 9 from 3, and finished with 2 points. So maybe last time I take Jordan Clarkson. So it was just an ugly, ugly night. Like I said, things have been going great out of the break, and then this happened. I was just like, man, I've spent too much time researching. So I'm going to try to figure out a way to kind of look at these games in general. If I see something that I like, like the CJ McCollum play and the Bradley Beal play, I'm going to point those out. But I'm going to take a look in the morning and put plays in the pinned comment. I know Ed from Guy Boston Sports, he kind of just does his run through, and then he'll, spend his time looking for plays. He'll make like little small parlays for decent payouts, and those, they're always safe and they hit. And they make money. So doing this the night before, I don't have all those alt lines out. I don't have all that available to me. So I'm going to take it easy at nighttime, and I will be working on the pin comment when I can. So I'm going to get this edited and get it out to you. God bless you all. It's Final Round. My name is Jordan. I will catch you on the next one. Bye.